Hello there, young scientists. I'm Professor Bloom, and I'm here to take you on an incredible journey through the secret garden of science. Are you ready to uncover the mysteries of nature, solve puzzling challenges, and save a magical garden? Well, grab your magnifying glasses and put on your thinking caps, because we're about to embark on an adventure that's as educational as it is exciting. Now, picture this. It's a beautiful sunny morning at Greenleaf Elementary School. The birds are chirping, the bees are buzzing, and three young friends, Hashir, Shaheer, and Aysha, are skipping towards their favorite place, the school's science garden. But wait, something's not right. As they get closer, their smiles fade and their eyes widen in disbelief. Look, Hashir points at the wilting plants. The tomatoes are all droopy. Shaheer runs to the flower bed. And the roses have lost their color. They're as gray as my grandpa's old sweater. Aysha, always the observant one, notices something else. Even the sunflowers aren't following the sun anymore. It's like they've lost their energy. The children look at each other, worry etched on their faces. What could have happened to their beloved garden overnight? Just then, they hear a familiar voice behind them. Ah, I see you've noticed our little problem, says Mr. Mehran, their science teacher, his usual cheery smile replaced with a concerned frown. Mr. Mehran, what's wrong with the garden? The children ask in unison. The teacher kneels down, lowering his voice as if sharing a secret. Well, you see, this isn't just any ordinary garden. It's powered by something special. The garden core crystal. This magical crystal gives life and energy to all the plants. But last night, it disappeared. Gasps echo through the wilting garden. The garden core crystal. Missing, but how and why? We need to find it, Aysha declares, her eyes sparkling with determination. Yeah, Hashir and Shaheer agree, pumping their fists in the air. Mr. Mehran smiles, a twinkle returning to his eye. I was hoping you'd say that. But be warned, this won't be an easy task. You'll need to use all your scientific knowledge and problem-solving skills. The children nod eagerly, ready for the challenge. Mr. Mehran points towards a peculiar structure at the far end of the garden, a giant greenhouse with swirling patterns on its glass walls. Your adventure begins in the mystic greenhouse. But be careful. It's full of tricky puzzles and mysterious creatures. As the trio approaches the greenhouse, they notice something odd on the ground. Look, footprints, Shaheer exclaims, pointing at a trail of muddy marks leading into the greenhouse. They're too big to be ours, Hashir observes, measuring his foot against one of the prints. And look how they shine, Aysha adds, noticing a strange sparkle in the mud. It's almost like crystal dust. With renewed excitement, they follow the trail into the mystic greenhouse. As they step inside, they're greeted by a burst of warm, fragrant air. Exotic plants of all shapes and sizes surround them, their leaves rustling as if whispering secrets. Suddenly, a deep, wise voice echoes through the greenhouse. Who dares enter the realm of botanical wonders? The children spin around, searching for the source of the voice. Their jaws drop when they spot an enormous, ancient tortoise wearing a tiny pair of spectacles, perched on a giant mushroom. I am Professor Leaf, the tortoise announces, adjusting his glasses. Guardian of this greenhouse and keeper of plant wisdom. If you seek the garden core crystal, you must prove your worth by completing 3 challenges. The children exchange determined looks. We're ready, they declare in unison. Professor Leaf nods approvingly. Very well. Your first challenge is the water puzzle. With a wave of his wrinkly flipper, a complex system of pipes and valves appears before them. At one end is a large tank of water, and at the other, a wilting plant. To pass this test, Professor Leaf explains, you must figure out how much water the plant needs. Too little, and it will wither. Too much, and it will drown. The children huddled together, discussing what they know about plant watering. After some debate, they decide to open the valve halfway, allowing a steady stream of water to reach the plant. To their delight, the plant perks up, its leaves turning a vibrant green. Professor Leaf nods approvingly. Well done. You've shown that you understand the delicate balance of a plant's water needs. As the water puzzle fades away, a new challenge materializes. Behold, the sunlight maze. Professor Leaf announces. Before them stands a twisting path filled with shadows and bright spots. At the end, a small sprout struggles in the darkness. Your task is to guide the sunlight to the plant using these mirrors, the wise tortoise explains, as several handheld mirrors appear. The children grab the mirrors and start experimenting. Hashir positions himself at the entrance, angling his mirror to catch the incoming light. Shaheer stands in the middle, redirecting the beam around a corner. Aysha takes the final position, ensuring the light reaches the plant. After a few attempts and some teamwork, they manage to create a perfect path of light. The little sprout at the end begins to grow rapidly, unfurling its leaves with joy. "Excellent!" Professor Leaf exclaims. "You've demonstrated your understanding of how crucial sunlight is for plant growth." As the sunlight maze disappears, the final challenge appears. "Now, for the soil match," Professor Leaf announces. 3 different types of soil appear, along with 3 distinct plants: a cactus, a water lily, and an oak sapling. Match each plant with its ideal soil type, instructs Professor Leaf. Choose wisely, for a plant in the wrong soil will not thrive. The children examine each soil type carefully. Aysha picks up the sandy soil, remembering a lesson about desert plants. "The cactus should go in this one," she says confidently. Shaheer grabs the waterlogged soil. "The water lily needs lots of water, so this must be for it." Hashir is left with the rich, dark soil, and this one looks perfect for the oak tree to grow big and strong. They place each plant in its chosen soil, holding their breath. To their relief and excitement, all 3 plants begin to flourish. Professor Leaf beams with pride. "Congratulations, young scientists! You've passed all 3 challenges. You've proven your knowledge of plant needs and your ability to work as a team." Just as the children begin to celebrate, a mischievous laugh echoes through the greenhouse. From behind a giant fern, a figure emerges. A tall, thin man with wild hair and a lab coat covered in leaf patterns. "Well, I see some clever little sprouts have made it to my lair. Who are you?" Hashir demands, stepping protectively in front of his friends. The man bows with a flourish. "I am the brilliant, the misunderstood, the one and only Dr. Drought. And yes, I took your precious garden core crystal." Aysha gasps. "But why? Don't you know how important it is for the plants?" Dr. Drought rolls his eyes. "Of course I know. I'm a scientist. That's exactly why I took it. I wanted to study what happens when plants lose their energy source." "It's a fascinating experiment." Shaheer frowns. "But that's not, right? You're hurting the plants and ruining our school garden." "Science isn't about hurting things," Hashir adds. "It's about understanding and helping." Dr. Drought pauses, stroking his chin thoughtfully. "Helping, you say? But how does studying wilting plants help anyone?" Aysha steps forward bravely. "By learning how to keep plants healthy, we can grow more food, make medicines, and even help fight climate change. But we need to do it in a way that doesn't harm the plants we're trying to understand." The children go on to explain all they've learned about plant care from their challenges. As they speak, Dr. Drought's expression changes from mischievous to thoughtful. I never thought of it that way," he admits, shoulders slumping. "I was so focused on my experiment, I didn't consider the bigger picture." With a sigh, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a glowing crystal. "Here," he says, holding it out to the children. "I think this belongs in your garden." As soon as the crystal is back in place, magic happens. The wilted plants perk up, flowers burst into bloom, and the whole garden seems to hum with energy. The children cheer, jumping up and down with excitement. To celebrate their success and spread their newfound knowledge, the school organizes a grand science fair. Hashir, Shaheer, and Aysha set up a booth all about photosynthesis and plant care. They use their experiences from the mystic greenhouse to create fun, interactive demonstrations for their classmates. Dr. Drought even joins in, now enthusiastic about using his scientific skills to help plants grow better. He sets up a display showing how different types of soil affect plant growth, turning his mischief into a force for good. As the fair comes to a close, Mr. Mehran gathers everyone around. "Let's give a big round of applause to our plant-saving heroes," he announces, beaming with pride. "They've shown us that with teamwork, scientific thinking, and a love for nature, we can solve any problem." The garden, once again lush and vibrant, seems to sway in agreement as butterflies dance among the flowers and birds sing from the tree. And so, our adventure in the secret garden of science comes to a happy end. But remember, young scientists, this is just the beginning. There are so many more mysteries to solve and wonders to discover in the world around us. Keep asking questions, keep experimenting, and keep learning. Who knows what amazing discoveries you'll make next? Until our next scientific adventure, this is Professor Bloom, signing off. Remember to water your curiosity, let your imagination grow wild, and always, always be kind to nature. Goodbye for now, and happy exploring!